basses. Here's another lesson video on some of your concert music that you got right when school is closing. Again, if you don't have this music, please email me or Mrs. Schmidt and we'll send you another copy right away. But today we're going to do Bile and Cabbage down. And this is a traditional fiddle tune. And you guys are going to be able to play this a couple different ways. So first time through the song, we're going to use our bow. But then I'm going to show you some different pizzicato ways to play the song too. All right, so it's going to be quite similar actually to your, I lost it, your shorten and bread. Yep. So in shorten and bread, you were doing that pattern where you had quarter note, quarter rest, quarter note, quarter rest. Some kind of basic baseline accompaniment, right? Playing along with more of the melody that's happening in the violins and violas. You're going to start off the kind of that same pattern for Bile and Cabbage down. So in our first measure, we're starting on your open D. So let's play that. So one quarter note, rest, rest, and then you would switch over to your open G string. Again, on cello, it's a little different. So you play your open G. Here we go. Rest, rest. Go back to your open D 2 times. Rest, rest, and then go down to your open A string. Rest, rest. So nice and easy for that very first line. You're just playing open strings, 2 quarter notes for every measure, D, then over to G, D, and then down to A. Okay, so let's play that whole first line without stopping. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest, rest, G, D, open A. All right, and now line 2 is going to start off the same exact way. Let's do the first measure of line 2. Go back to your open D string. Ready, and rest, rest, and then go over to your open G string. Rest, rest, and then go back to open D, but just do it 1 time. Then go to your open A, and then the last measure, you're going to do a blueberry pie rhythm. Rest. Okay, so it starts off the same as the beginning of the song, but the last 2 measures changes up a little bit, changing your notes more frequently, and then ending on a blueberry pie rest. So let's try all of line 2. Here we go, line 2 without stopping. Ready, and D, rest, open G, D, down to A, and then blueberry pie, rest. All right, so if you notice, there's a repeat sign at the end of that line. So that means we would go back to the beginning, play line 1, and then play line 2. All right, so let's do the very last line now. This is the only last 2 measures of the song that we haven't learned yet. So the last line is something that they do in barbershop music and in fiddle music. You've probably heard this before. It's called shave and haircut 2 bits, and it sounds like this. So you might have heard that in different songs before. So here's how you play it. You're going to start on your high D. So shift down to 3rd position on your 4th finger. So your high D. Again, I'm on cello, so it's going to be a little bit different. But you play your high D. And then, actually, let me think this through for a minute. Yeah, let's do that. You guys can do this. All right, so your high D, we just did that. Shift back to 1st position for your 1st finger A. Then your 4th finger for your B. Back to your 1st finger A. All right, and again, I apologize if you're watching me. I'm playing completely different fingers. Next week, I'm going to try to get to school and actually get a bass to bring home. But in any case, you've got your high D, shift back to 1st position, A, 4th finger B, back to A. So let's try that without stopping. So quick shift, so high D, right back to your A. Here we go, ready, and. Alright, so do that a couple times until you're comfortable doing that 3rd position shift. And then in the last measure, you can see there it starts off with a quarter rest, right? And during that quarter rest, underneath it says stomp in parentheses. That's where we would stomp our foot on the floor, nice and loud. And then our last 2 notes are C sharp, D. So you're going to go back to 3rd position, play your 2, and then your 4th finger high D. Okay, so C sharp and then your D. So let's do that. So here's your last measure. We're going to stomp first, then C sharp, D. Ready, and stomp. Sorry about that. that's the whole last line. Let's do that without stopping now. All right, so high D, third position. Here we go. Line 3. Ready, and stop. All right, so do that as many times as you need to, especially because you're shifting from first to third position. Okay, so let's go back and play the whole song now from the beginning to the end without stopping, and then I'll show you some pizzicato things you can do with this song. All right, so remember, we're going to take the repeat sign. So line 1, line 2, repeat back to line 1, do line 2, and then we'll finish off with the shave and haircut song melody for the last line. All right, here we go. From the beginning, open D. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest, G, open D, open A, back to D, G, D, A, and D. Repeat. Rest, G, D, open A, line 2, open G, open D, A, go up to your high D, alright, so that's the whole song all the way through. So play that as many times as you need to until you're comfortable with it. And you can, of course, go a little bit faster on it too. Fiddle tunes are usually fast, up-paced music, so you could do something like rest, rest, rest. If you go to some of the other videos that I've made for some of the other instruments, you can hear the main melody. It'll probably make a little bit more sense too. Oh, and something else I forgot to mention. There's another version of this song in your lesson book, actually. I can't remember what number it is right now, but it was right around where most of us were in our lesson book before we had to leave school. So look that up. It's different than this, but you'll hear where that how the melody goes in there, and you can practice that one also. Okay, so I mentioned you can do some different pizzicato things with this song too, right? So let's put our bow down. And just like in shortening bread, I told you about something called slap pizzicato, right? Where you pluck the note and then just tap your hand or your fingers down on the string to make kind of a clicking sound, a couple inches down from where you usually put your fingers on the fingerboard. So you could definitely do this for Bile and Cabbage. That would sound really cool. So just like with shortening bread, you're going to tap or slap during the rests. So it'll sound like this. D, tap, D, tap, G, D, D, A. Like that. And then it's another variation we usually have people do is on the repeat. So the second time through, you make it a double tap. So you would go D, tap, tap, D, tap, tap, G. And then you would still do pizzicato for the last line also, so you just do like that. So that's another way that you could practice this song, is doing pizzicato with some slap bass in between. All right, so if you have any questions or you're struggling with anything, remember to please email me or Mrs. Schmidt, and we'll help you in any way we can. And next week, we'll do another concert song.